you want the stroke of luck, but you also want the system that you build to produce. And I think if more people approached entrepreneurship that way, they would do much better. Because, like, yeah, it's a grind, and some things happen quick, but some things don't happen quick. But either way, you got to be prepared either way.
Welcome, everybody, to the Rally Cry podcast. My name is Angel.
And my name is Tyler, guys.
And you guys are here because you want to learn, you want to grow, you want to move from the past, and you want to live in the moment. And in this moment, we got a guest. Yes, I said it. And before I introduce you to this guest, because I'm truly excited for him being here today, make sure that you guys follow us on Instagram at The Rally Cries and follow us on your favorite podcast platform. And so I want to do a proper introduction. He is someone that stands out. Let's see what I did there. He's an all-time entrepreneur. He's a philanthropist. He's been on Business West and having a dream starting with only $20. His resilience and passion has allowed him to create dope stuff and stay sucker free. Everyone, welcome Myke Connolly.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes. The crowd goes wild. Yeah, I'm honestly...
Standing ovation, by the way.
Yes. I love it. I really appreciate you being here and, taking the time, to express your story, your experiences, and just have us learn all the things that your experiences went through. So, yeah.
Hey, man, I make time for Mac Red members. So you're a Mac Red member, so yes. I'm here.
Yes, I love it. So I like to start with, learning about you, and you are an entrepreneur. And so when you hear the word entrepreneur, how would you describe that? So
to me, an entrepreneur is someone that identifies a problem, creates a system to solve that problem, and then gets paid for that system. So entrepreneurship is about solving problems, but most importantly, getting paid. See, a lot of people don't understand that part. Inventors invent things, and sometimes people confuse entrepreneurs with inventors. Inventors invent things. Sometimes entrepreneur uses inventor solutions to solve the problem, and then they get paid. And then business people are different from entrepreneurs. Business people are people that run that system that the entrepreneur may have created to generate even more revenue and employ more people and stuff like that. So there's levels to it. But that's, to me, to answer your question, an entrepreneur is someone that identifies a problem, creates a solution, and then systemizes that solution and get paid. So problem, solution, system to get paid.
Right. Yeah, no, I love that. And I think that when it comes to, especially now, I think after the pandemic, a lot of people are trying to figure out ways to be an entrepreneur and make a business and stuff like that. Especially after that time, there was a lot of more businesses that came about, which was a good part. But a lot of times people don't have that system. And if anything, they try to solve the problem, but now they got a problem because they don't have a system to solve it.
Yeah.
So when it came to you being an entrepreneur, what made you want to be an entrepreneur?
Well, I mean, the first time I did it, I was 9. I really didn't know what I was doing. I ended up retiring my grandmother in 2 years, creating this system to sell candy to kids in my neighborhood. And I just kind of let it go. I thought, businesses and every business succeed. I'm a kid, so I'm thinking it all works. And then I had some other little odds and ends ways of making money throughout the years. But then I ended up launching a baby gift company called Stinky Cakes. We wanted diapers. The problem was, just listen, no one wanted to give us diapers. Why people don't want to give diapers? That's the most important thing any new baby's going to use. But then I realized the problem was gift giving is a two-way street. So if you give someone a box of diapers, the person receiving the diapers would absolutely love it. But the gift givers, they don't really get that, oh my God, kind of feeling. So once I realized that, I solved that problem by making diaper giving fun, making the gift giving a two-way street. And people bought a lot of them. We shipped them across the country. And we did okay with that business. But then I got sick because I wasn't taking care of my health. And this is one of the things I tell entrepreneurs, and this is why I say this to entrepreneurs. Your health is number one. Business could be booming, national recognition, national orders. But if you not healthy, you can't even enjoy all of that. So I had pulled back from business and I wrote a book because I started working with kids at Westover Job Corps. I love working with the youth. And by accident, they forced me to write a book. So I don't, and if you ask me, I don't think I would ever wrote a book, but how that came to be was they started Googling me. They're like, Mister, something's different about you. You're not like all the other residential advisors. And they was like, wait, you own a business. Why don't you teach us business? And I was like, all right, business, you slick. You're going to use the kids to make me do a Michael Jordan comeback. So I started teaching these kids, business in what we call accountability session, their roll call a Job Corps. And they had really great questions, and I would sometimes jot stuff down, come back, and actually one of my former trainees reminded me how we used to sit down together too and watch Shark Tank, and I used to break down to them what's happening, the deals, the terms, why this business will work, and how we would market it, stuff like that, and all of that kind of thinking became my first book, Launch and Stand Out. Now, people try to get it on Amazon. All my books that I talk about, I always put them on my website, marketingandcupcakes.com. Everything for me is there, because part of the reason I do that directly is because I do a lot of charity work with the proceeds of my books. So sometimes schools and colleges and other organizations book me to speak. And sometimes they buy a bulk amount of the books. But also because I do direct to consumer, then I also typically donate some of the books too. So I might go in a school, and a school may buy 300 books, but because of the proceeds from the book sales, I'm able to give the school 100, 200, 300 extra books. So it's like a lot of times the schools want the books to go into the libraries, but I want the kids to take the books home. So that's why everything that I talk about is always direct to consumer. But Launch and Stand Out, that book became really amazing, and it's like the most simple book you're ever going to read when it talks about business models, creating a business model, or creating a marketing system, or developing your mindset. Because my Job Corps kids, a lot of them weren't strong readers. They high school dropouts, came back to Job Corps for a second chance type thing, and I didn't want them to pick that book up and feel inferior. Everything that I create to empower people. So that's the most simple book you ever going to read about business models and marketing and mindset. But that's how I got to that. That's a long way to answer what you're saying. But entrepreneurship has always been in me. So like now, currently, I run a business called Standout Truck. It's a travel and digital billboard truck company. And businesses pay us to distribute their marketing messages really fast. So if you're looking to spread the word really fast, and like what we like to say, a hyper-local market, like directly to your consumers, you book spots on the Standout Truck, and we drive around with your messages. I like 10 words or less. And ultimately what we do with Standout Truck is help our customers get more customers. But entrepreneurship, I solve problems. You could put me anywhere in the world and I'll become an entrepreneur, because I will identify certain problems and then figure out solutions to those problems and then create a system to get paid for those solutions. So that's me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
love
love
that.
yeah. You want to say something, Tyler?
Yeah, I was gonna say because as Michael was bringing that up, not only was I diving deep in, but I think Angel touched on it little while back. As far as like how the business went up until now, during COVID individually or maybe as a team, like was there any increase in successes or was there a decrease? Because COVID was such like a difficult time that it was hard. So like, what was that like for you and your team during COVID?
So great question. During COVID, you want to hear a story? I got stories, man. You want to hear the story?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We're ready.
Listen, man. So my business started. I launched my business on Biggie Day, March 9th, 2020. Hear what I said? March 9th,
Yep.
2020.
Right on the spot, pretty much.
Listen, 3 days later. Now this is what would happen to me, right? I would start a business that's really dependent on heavy traffic to generate revenue, right?
Right.
The world would shut down 3 days later if I started a business like that. And that's what happened. So my business out the gate should have failed. But as a shrewd business person, I know my numbers. So in my initial business plan, I had the first 90 days to operate at a loss anyway. So I was not nervous at all. I was going to use those first 90 days to educate the consumers about
Sorry about that.
That's me. That right there is my business starting and crashing before.
Well, hey, I guess it was meant to be.
But no, so 90 days, operated a loss, not worried at all. Yeah, this little flu thing's gonna go by. It was just whatever, this COVID thing, H1N1, whatever they was calling it. I ain't worried about that. But as time goes by, it's still like, things started to get canceled. So one of the things that was being canceled were high school graduations and college graduations. Now, what you have to understand is my entire business career, I launched Stinky Cakes in 2008. And from that year, I was going into schools teaching kids in 2008 because I'm a foster parent. And one of my foster daughter at the time, she went to an alternative school. And every time she would come home, because I was running my business, I would teach her stuff that I'm doing. And she was like, Myke, I'm telling you, you should come to my school and teach the kids at my school this. They would absolutely love it. And I'm like, you sure? You think so? She said, no, you have to come. So I went to this alternative school. It was Safe High School in Springfield at the time. And I mean, she was right. They absolutely loved what I had to say. They had some of the best questions ever. But actually, I could even give those kids credit to me and the Write and Launch and Stand Out because of that experience with them. I knew young people was interested in what I had to offer. So when the Job Corps kids started asking me these questions, that's why I was like receptive to that. But anyway, I spent time in that school and it was like addicted. So then I started going to more and more schools. So like for the whole time I've been running my businesses, I've been teaching students directly like I've been doing, let's put it like this. I've been doing it so long. Now some of my standout truck clients, some of my really good clients were kids that were in these high schools that are now either decision makers in businesses or influence the decision makers. And They go, oh, you got to go at standout truck. And I got some accounts from, that's how long I've been doing it.
Wow.
So, yeah, which is really cool. But, because of the pandemic and people were starting to, the schools were canceling the graduations, I was like, nah, these kids deserve this moment. They got to have some kind of moment with their families. So I was like, well, forget making money with this truck right now. It doesn't really matter. Just, this is bigger than that. So what I did was I turned the truck into a celebration truck, and I would allow families to put like a custom greeting card on all three sides of my billboard truck. We would drive to the house. It'd be congratulations, Angel. Congratulations, Tyler. Graduation class of 2020. And then the families would come out. We would do a photo shoot. We would edit those photos in that hour on the spot. Wow. And then we would deliver them those photos right then. So everything happened within this hour. This was like a $500 to $700 package that we were giving the families for $75 during the pandemic.
Right.
So that's what we did. But I flipped that and I used that as an opportunity to teach my my staff like the standout truck way, our five-star experience. Let them understand how the business should really operate. So we use that as like a big training to just get everything right. And long story short, that turned into like why our clients love standout truck now, because we just operate at such a high level. But that training time came through the pandemic, so we did that. We was able to do great for the community, but then we were also able to work out the kinks with our system that we were building with standout truck.
Yeah, like I love how like that all worked out because it seemed almost as if like despite it being a season of sickness, it seemed like it was just a season of investing and just a season of everybody getting together despite how lonely it was feeling at that time. And I just liked how like you took the opportunity to make it the most optimizing opportunity not only for yourself and your team, but also people around. Because I could say even for myself, I had just got let go from my job at around that same time. So it's pretty interesting how fast you were able to bounce back into it and play along the strides with COVID, and how even though it was a bit controversial about how it is contagious, you were still able to make great use of the assets that you had.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the thing, man. True entrepreneurs are able to adapt and adjust. Obviously, during the time, people were wearing the mask It was social distancing. Some families still took the pictures together because they're living in the same house anyway. So it worked out. And like when we just like I said that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur, man. Entrepreneurs think different, and we just act different. We take different types of action. You just adapt and adjust, man.
Yeah, I wanted to go off of that because during COVID, I think that's when people were kind of going into scrambles. And I love that fact that, you figured out, with the limited resources that I have, I'm able to adapt to that. And I think a lot of times when it comes to starting a business, people don't know how to adapt to the situation. And then from adapting to it, how to balance things out at the same time because they think they just need to adapt to the moment. But it's more than just that. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. So everything's number one, in the Worm Tools workbook, you have one. I talk about the 1-page business action plan. And then in those first 9 things that you have to do, I listed them all as number one to number one, number one, number one, number one. Because when you operate in a business, there's certain things that we break down in that workbook, which is also on marketingandcupcakes.com in the store. We break down in that book these all important things. So I also, when you do those things, what automatically happens is your risk management awareness goes so high. So when you start planning out your business, you see all the great things that could happen, but immediately you also see the things that could go wrong. So I always like to say when it comes to risk management, it's like having a fire extinguisher in your house. You want to have one. You hope you never use it, but you want to have one. If you don't have one, the moment to get one is not when there's a fire. So a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of startups and a lot of business people, they don't have these plans for what goes wrong. So when the moment comes, you're scrambling because now you're thinking about cash flow. You're thinking about keeping your business open. You're not thinking about dealing with a pandemic. But that's what I'm saying. For me, I had those first 90 days to operate as a loss. No one does that. No one starts a business and go, okay, if I make no money for 90 days, what I got to do? But I had that plan. Right. So I knew I could not charge the $500, $600, $700 for the thing. I could charge $75 and be okay because I had cash reserves ready to go. So it was no biggie on me, right? So that's one of the things that you always have to do. You have to anticipate the best, but prepare for the worst.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you talk about risk management because nobody ever thinks about that. It's always just, I just want to be successful. And I'm just thinking about the most optimistic way, which is great. That's a good start. You want to have a good attitude for things, but you still need to be prepared for the worst, right? Just in case. Just like you mentioned, that fire extinguisher.
Right. You gotta you gotta live in reality. I always tell people when I talk about business, I talk about it in a way that Instagram don't. Like I don't ever give the Instagram version. I'm not gonna give you the get rich in 2 hour thing. Listen. Does it happen? Yeah, but that's like hitting the lotto. So I like the snowball of Warren Buffett has a really great book called either the Snowball Effect or Snowball. But if you Google Warren Buffett's Snowball book, it'll come up. And he really talks about getting rich slow, and it doesn't mean slow like forever. It's just steady, consistent. The next thing you know, you start off with this small snowball. You do things systematically, consistently, and then what happens? It grows and grows and grows and grows, and then boom, now you got that. And I think that's a model that most people could follow. Like, I know you working on your card game and all these other things that you guys got going on with the podcast. So if you look at what you guys are doing and you consistently build, and okay, people will pay for this, and they will do this, and they find value in that, and okay, cool. Now we got a system. People come on, they learn about us on the podcast. We help them solve these problems that they're having. We give them the resources to do that. They realize how valuable we are. They keep coming back. They tell their friends, boom, boom, boom. Now we're putting on conferences and this and that and the next thing, and we're growing. And we're doing something consistently. So I don't think either of you guys have kids yet, but then 15 years from now, you already got the system figured out. You could plug. Let's go 30 years from now. Now you got a 15-year-old kid that wants to get in the same thing. You could give him the same play. You could help him or her run the same snowball play. But if you guys, you went viral, and then after you went viral, you sold $80 million worth of things. You can't hand that to your kid because it's based on, now hope it happen. You want both things to happen. You want the stroke of luck, but you also want the system that you build to produce. And I think if more people approached entrepreneurship that way, they would do much better. Because it's a grind, and some things happen quick, but some things don't happen quick. But either way, you got to be prepared either way.
Yeah, and I think when you mention that, is the consistency is the biggest thing, right? And that's what me and Tyler have done. We just being consistent, keep doing that is kind of the process of things. And I think that if we can't be patient, then we're a master of none, is why I like to say.
Yeah,
because patience is everything.
It's true. Because listen, some things happen really quick, some things happen really slow. And when you start understanding there's levels of the business, some of the levels you're going to get right away. It's like, common sense. I could do it. Oh, yeah, it's this, and this. I can see it. Some levels you have to grow to. And you're like, man,
yeah,
this is hard. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. And then you seek out mentorship and guidance and stuff like that. And then you may go up 3 more levels. And then that other level, this is easy. I got this. Whoa, I could have did this 20 years ago. And then the next level is like, man. So it's like it's an ebb and flow. And I think everybody obviously thinks that their business is going to succeed out the gate, but the statistics show in the first 5 years, 95% fail. And then I found out this crazy stat when it comes to African-American businesses that in the first 12 to 18 months, 8 out of 10 fail.
That's big. That's a big number.
Right? So I'm pretty sure if I did the research in the Latino market, it'll probably be similar, right? But here's the thing. It's dramatic when you hear it. But it's this, if you really look into it and break it down, the same reasons why 95% fail in the first 5 years is the same reason in the African-American market, they fail in the first 12 to 18 months. The difference is other markets and other segments of business, they have some cash buffer. So that kind of, they could play around with that cash flow for about 3 to 5 years. And then it falls out. But when you understand the factors why businesses fail, and I could tell you a few of them. I did a whole Facebook Live on it, and we did that random Zoom call about it. But
yeah,
I think I might have posted this. I actually, if you go once again, marketingandcupcakes.com on the blog, I talk about I talk about 7 ways to succeed, and then I also talk about why businesses fail. So that's on the blog. But I'll give you a couple. One of the first things is access to capital, right? Most businesses don't have capital to grow their business. When I talk about that, though, I go, man, really, the underlying issue is bad credit. Because if you have decent credit, you have access to capital, whether that's a bank loan, whether that's a business credit card, whether that's some community fund that's funding startups. There is access, but if your credit's bad, then the gate's closed. So if you understand that, that's why when I go into schools, I teach kids about credit before they get the credit card. You can't teach someone about credit after the credit cards come, because if you don't know how it works, what's going to happen? You're going to get this credit card in the mail. You're 18 years old. You want to get the fresh, back in my day, you want to get the fresh polo outfit. That outfit, head to toe with some sneakers, that's your $500 credit card right there, right?
Right.
So you don't know about credit utilization. You don't know you're not supposed to use more than 50%. You're just going, oh man, this outfit's gonna look fresh when I go to the club this weekend. I'm gonna be looking fly. That's what you're thinking. So you go swipe, card maxed out. You don't know you got to pay on time. You don't even know how it works.
Right.
So like now out the gate, your credit's shot. Right.
Yep.
And then so now that become your model for credit. So your whole time, that's what you do. Oh, they gonna keep sending me these cards. All right, whatever. I'm gonna buy what I want. I ain't paying that, right? So then now, 10 years later, you're 28 and you want to start a business. So now you don't come from means. So you need to get a loan, or you need to get a business credit card, or you need to go to a community fund. And they go, well, what's your credit score? Credit score? What you talking about? I don't know. They say pull it up. Now you had a 400 credit score, right?
Yeah, that's tough.
Right?
Right.
Woo.
And you may have a great business idea, but now that's why you don't have access to capital. because they want to help you. They want to work with you. They may like your idea, but it's bad math for them because they go, man, this person ain't gonna never pay us back. That credit score that's like, I like to call it your trust score. Like if I lend you $1, you lend me $1 and I go, hey, Angel or Tyler, I'm gonna pay you back next Friday. So next Friday comes and I don't pay you back that $1. Another Friday comes, I don't pay you that $1. A third Friday comes, I don't pay you that $1. A fourth Friday comes and I don't pay you that $1. Would you ever lend me $1 again?
Nope.
But dude, it's $1.
Yeah, but if I can't trust you with $1, I wouldn't want to trust you, especially with $20.
And that's why your credit score is so important. All that is your trust score. You gonna pay me back or not? That's what it is. Because anybody that lends you money, I don't care if it's your grandma. She cares that if it's a loan, she cares that she gonna get that money back, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's why there's a lack of access to capital. It's not lack of access to capital; it's poor credit management. But if you flip it, you understand. And this is what I tell kids in high schools, and this is why these schools pay me to come in and talk to their kids, because I say, well, either you could answer this. If you get a McDonald's card, that's to buy stuff where?
At McDonald's.
Tyler, if you get a card at a card from Home Depot, that's to buy stuff where?
Home Depot.
You get a credit card, either you, that's to buy what?
A credit card to buy like anywhere?
Okay.
Yeah.
Anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Now let's think about this. Let's just go with the names of things, okay? So if a McDonald's card is to buy stuff at McDonald's, and a Home Depot card is to buy stuff at Home Depot, shouldn't a credit card be a card to buy credit?
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I never thought of it like that.
Just think about it.
I'm thinking.
Right? So now let's flip this example, and this is what I teach kids. This is simple. I try to keep it simple. So you working, you at McDonald's. You work at McDonald's, 18 years old, first job. Mom, I got a job. I'm working at McDonald's. Great. Now, this new doohickey come out, PlayStation 25, whatever. We gonna make something up here.
Yeah.
Right? And this thing costs $500. Guess what came in the mail? My $500 credit card limit. But you heard that you should never use more than 50% of that. So cool. Here's what you do. And this is the cheat code. Delayed gratification. So if you work at McDonald's and you save your money for your new doohickey, your $500 thing, you have the $500 in the bank already. Matter of fact, because you understand interest is really how you start to buy your credit. Because these people, they got to make some money off the deal, right? So let's just say the interest totals up to another $100, whatever. You just going to go with that. So now you got your $600 in the bank account. So here's what you do. You go out and then you use that credit card and you buy your PlayStation or your doohickey. Max it out. You could max it out in this situation. The reason you could max it out in this situation is why? You already have the money for it. So now every month you're paying it off. Well, actually, right away, you pay half.
Okay.
So now you get your credit utilization back down to half. This is before the bill comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So then now the bill comes in, boom, you drop 125 on it. Boom, you drop 125 on it. Boom, you drop 125 on it. Whatever that number is, now your thing's already paid off.
Yep.
So then now you want something else. Same thing. You got the money first. Boom, you pay that off. Boom, you pay that off. Boom, you pay that off. You know what's going to happen? Now they're going to give you more credit. Now you run the same play consistently. You running the same play for 10 years. 10 years. Now you want to start a business. Oh, wow. Your credit score is 750. You could, $300,000. We'll give you $300,000 to start your business. That's the game. That's what people, when you see all of a sudden someone, why you got all this money for them to start this business? They got decent credit. You could, so think about this. Some people don't have money or access to start their business because they bought the whole polo outfit from the mall in 1999.
Yep. And that's a bad habit too. I think there's a lot of people that want to be successful but don't know what it takes to be successful.
Well, you already said the word earlier, bro. Discipline.
Mm-hmm.
See, to become successful, is long, it's lonely, it's boring, and it's work.
Yep.
That's, once again, Instagram ain't gonna tell you that. You know why? Because no one's gonna double tap that.
Right.
No one's double tapping long, lonely, boring work. Only time people start celebrating long, lonely, boring work was after Kobe passed. And it's like, oh man, Kobe used to wake up before practice to go to practice. Oh, Kobe's amazing. But when he was up, when he was alive,
Yep.
they wasn't celebrating that. They was calling him cocky.
Yep.
Oh, he think he better than people.
He think he Michael Jordan.
Who he think he is?
Michael Jordan.
Now he's gone, and we really see the work he was putting in. Now is what people. Listen, man, LBW, long, lonely, boring work. That's how you succeed, bro. Like I said, you could get lucky. You could catch lightning in a bottle, but how do you duplicate that?
Right.
How do you put? How do you duplicate that lightning? How do you give that to your kid? How do you give that to your brother? How do you give that to your neighbor? How do you help someone else do that lightning in the bottle? You can't, because it was a stroke of luck. But if you do the LBW, I could tell you how to grow to 6-7 figures. Yo, here's what it takes. When we do our private Mac calls, have you ever left one of those calls going, I don't know what he's talking. There's no way I could make money doing that.
Never. If anything, I get more inspired. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready for it, and give me some tips of what is my next step, even if it's the small ones.
See, and that's because I've been through it. So because I've been through it, I could say, yo, and I don't ever tell anybody what to do. I just share my experience, and I share how things actually work. Mm-hmm. Right? So like, check this out. So my son, he had a teacher tell him, he had an assignment. He had to figure out his career because they were purchasing a car. So based on your career, it was based on the kind of car you could get. So my son tells the teacher, hey, I'm going to be a CEO. And the teacher goes, oh, you got to choose something realistic. And my son says, yep, that is realistic. And then I said, well, what'd she say after you said that? He said, oh, Dad, she started stuttering. I said, yeah, because it's true. First of all, his dad's a CEO. Boy sees what I do.
Right.
Consistently. Yep. Since he was a baby. Because he was born in 06. Stinky Cakes was launched in 08. So his entire life, he's seen me be a CEO. Yep. He's seen me struggle at it. He's seen me be okay at it. He's seen me get better at it. He's seen me be very good at it. I don't even say I'm great yet, because I know I got levels to go. But very good at it. But all along the way, he watched me make money. He knows he's going to be a CEO. So I tell my son, I go and I speak with the school, because I told the school, like, listen, I'm not here because they ask, you want your son to come in, you want the teacher to come in, and I go, no, I'm not here for that, because that's going to turn to he say, she say. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here because I want to advocate for the kids who want to be CEOs, who don't go home and tell their families about their day. Every day my sons come in the car, they talk about their day. Here's what happened. And matter of fact, when my son was telling me what the teacher said, he was telling me that he was proud that he defended himself. He wasn't complaining about the teacher. He was like, yeah, Dad, this is what I said. And it's fun. I let it go because I was like, man, great job. That was it. I posted a scenario on my Facebook, and I posted it I was basically telling everyone on Facebook how proud I was of my son. What happened? I didn't make a big deal about it. But then in the comment section, everyone's like, no, you have to have a meeting with the school. Like, you can't. And I was like, well, then I started thinking about it. And this is what I said to the school in the meeting. I said, I'm not here for my son. My son's fine. I'm here for the thousands of other kids that hear that go home to environments where dreaming's not allowed. So now that kid's thinking he or she can be a CEO. So I'm here for them. And I said, what I want you guys to get out of this is you just, like, now I'm going to up my advocacy for these kids. Because I wrote the Lemonade book with my co-writer, Heather, and we put that book, I published it. And it was to teach kids about how to be bosses. It's to teach kids how to build teams. Yep. It's to teach kids about work ethic. It's to teach kids about teamwork. It's to teach kids about the LBW and how it works. And I don't even like to call it a children's book. I like to call it a storybook so simple children could understand. But I've produced that book, right? So now my son going through the same this issue, because I did the LBW to figure out how to write a book and edit a book and publish a book and sell a book online and offline. I know how to do that. So you know what I told my son? I said, son, you got to turn this into a book to help kids. You got to like, what about the kids that aren't like you, that don't that can't come home and get, no, bro, you could do whatever you want. He said, Dad, that's a great idea. Let's write the book. So we spent the day, wrote the book one day, because it's 17 pages. And the reason it's 17 pages is because my kid's 17. And the book's geared towards kindergarten to second grade. So those kids now, he's putting the story together. Right now we're working with the illustrator to start doing all the illustrations. But now my son, he's going to go into schools, read his book to K through 12. Is going to be called Realistic CEO. So he's gonna is a story about a kid in school, and they have to like pick a career, and he goes, I'm gonna be a CEO, and the teacher goes, that's unrealistic, and he goes, no, it's not. Here's how I'm gonna do it, and he then breaks down in like 10 to 15 steps how to be a CEO. And at the end of it, the teacher, I don't want to spoil the book, but at the end he makes it. And then you see the teacher years later looking at him in the newspaper like, wow, he did it. And then we end the book asking kids, so what's your dream?
I love that.
Right?
That's so awesome. Yes.
But think about this. Thank you. The reason we're able to do that is why I did the LBW. So for most people, like I said, it's not lightning in the bottle. I could pass it to my son. If my niece wants to write a book, if my nephew wants to write a book, if my mom, anybody, I know how to do it.
Right.
So this is why we need to put in the LBW. Forget what Instagram said. Put the work. Like I said, all that stuff it comes true. There's some people getting it big overnight, but normally it's because a lot of factors lined up in place. And if it's like a going viral moment and you don't know those factors, you can't duplicate it. If you know the factors and you line it up, then you can do it again.
Right. And I like to go back into, how the teacher was saying, oh, that's not realistic. And that almost makes me think about what you always say, create dope stuff and stay sucker free. That slogan, I was reading on actually the latest magazine that came out, and how you went through adversity and your circle, was part of the people that you thought, was close to you, but apparently they weren't. Tell me about that experience and what made you even want to come with that slogan?
So I to be honest, man, I think create dope stuff and stay sucker free is the best thing that my brain ever gave me. And I wish I had it at 9 years old.
Yeah.
I wish I had it at 9 years old, because one of the things as an entrepreneur and as a creative, it's like a double whammy. You want people to embrace your stuff. But the truth of the matter is only half of the people are going to love you anyway. So once you understand that, then you automatically kind of create separation. Not hate, just like, okay, well, this is not for you, and that's okay. But after I went through what I went, because I've helped quite a few people do significant numbers in business. And it was just, it's funny because to have people come to me in the beginning, I teach them marketing systems and sales systems and techniques and ways to attract the customers they want, cleaning out the message and all of this stuff. And they've done well. And then to see them switch, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm self-made. Oh, I did this on my own. I think, what? You wasn't saying that 2 months ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, last year. So when I was like, and I love helping people. So I'm like, yeah, see, that ain't even like, because you're taking away the joy for me. It's just like this kind of like draining to me. Like, man, because that's not you from when we started. So then that's when I started realizing it's a drain, right? And then I think it might have been like 2011 or 2012. I had this epiphany because I was watching Batman and the Joker said, whatever year that Joker with Heath Ledger came out, whatever it is around that time. And he said, if you're ever good at something, never do it for free. And that stuck with me.
Mm.
And then I was like, you know what? The people that come are the people that are looking for stuff for free, and then they just want to make it look like it's their own thing. It's really no receipts behind it. So if you do it for free, you can't even prove that they work with you.
Mm-hmm.
When they pay you, you could pull up that initial payment. Then you could pull up the subsequent payments. And this is when we work with whatever. So then when I started saying, like, I don't want no leeches around me. This year, no leeches. So it started as no leeches. And then I realized, like, and I was going through this journey, this self-awareness journey, and I realized, like, because I was like, I wasn't smiling, wasn't nothing. It's like mean mugging, like, just like, yo, that was my vibe. And I was like, no, that ain't even you, bro. You like, that's not you. You from the Caribbean, bro. You like smiling. Go smile. Go be happy. Like, go deliver other people joy. Like, just smile. Go. So now I walk around in Big Y and Stop and Shop, and I just smile at people. And it's crazy, right? Because you do it, and they like kind of get taken back, and they start smiling too. So then those two things kind of merge. And I don't remember where I was when I figured out the create dope stuff and stay sucker free. But at some point, I put those two thoughts together. So dope stands for deliver others positive energy and experiences, right? So I think once I created that acronym, then I guess I'm a yin yang thinker. So then I flip it. Okay, well, yeah, but that could also be drain others of positive energy and experience. And I go, you're right. Oh, this is good. This is good. Mm-hmm. So then the leeches kind of come out, right? And it's just like leeches didn't really do it anymore. And I'm like, and then, in our culture, we say dope, and we go, oh, don't be a sucker. That's a sucker move. So then I was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. Create dope stuff, part one. Second part is stay sucker free. Create stuff to deliver others positive energy and experiences, and stay away from the people that are draining you of positive energy and experiences. And if I understood that, those people that we talked about in that issue, it was volume 7 or volume 8?
This one's volume 7.
Volume 7, yeah, I break that, how I came up with that create dope stuff and stay sucker free. But if I had that then, I would have seen the signs that these people are draining me of positive energy along the timeline of working with them. Mm. So I would have pulled back before they even hit their things, because I would have already caught it. So like now I don't miss it. Like I'm like I would, with my relationship with people, I'm typically neutral. Like I give people respect by default, and it's up to them to keep that. So if you lose that, I pull back. Like I pull back from people and they don't even know, because I don't need to make a big deal about it. Because once I identify someone's a sucker, like I said, no, sucker is someone that's draining me of positive energy and experiences. So they draining me. So because they draining me, I got to pull back. But yeah, that's where that came from. There's a couple thoughts going together and it merging to become like, and I own that too. That's trademark for me. So.
Yeah, and when I was reading that, I love how that even came about. That's like an awesome story, because I think when it comes to adversity, people think that, oh, why me? Why this has to happen to me? But if we could sit down and look in the moment that this is happening for the benefit of maybe creating something out of it, and this is part of my story. It's almost like Spider-Man. If you watch the movie, he has all these adversities. People are against him or these things, but when he changes his circle and learn how to be well aware of himself, then he starts to know who he really is and what his true potential is.
You nailed it. So self-awareness, changing your circle. There's a popular meme that goes around with a bottle of water. And it was like, a bottle of water here is $1. A bottle of water here is $2. Bottle of water here is $3.50, right? So it's like, if you, sometimes you already valuable, but your circle don't value you. Mm-hmm. So change circles. Like and that once again, that requires self-awareness. That requires professional development. That requires sound mental health. And this is another thing I wanted to talk about with you guys too on this. I know you guys talk about mental health a lot. Mental health is so important for entrepreneurs and business owners. Like the things that we deal with, bro, it's just insane on a daily basis. Insane. So if you have not of sound mental health, entrepreneurship and business may not be an arena for you. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying if you in the field, you have to take care of your mental health. You have to go for walks. You have to sleep. You have to learn to let things go. You can't harp on things, because, like I said, business in itself is ebbs and flows, ups and downs. And that in itself is not good for the unprepared mind. So like one thing I know about myself like I said a couple of times, and we talked about, Tyler was saying he was in Nassau. I'm originally from the Bahamas. I grew up, born and raised in Freeport, Grand Bahama. So all year round, it's sun, it's bright, there's tons of energy all the time. And the most important part is the leaves are green all year round. So it's always life. So being in Western Mass, and then you go to that winter season, and it took me a long time because the snow doesn't bother me, the cold doesn't bother me, but the getting dark early gets to me. But I was aware of that. But the biggest thing for me is always looking around and seeing death. No leaves on the trees, so that takes a toll on me. So I didn't realize I have seasonal depression. I did not get that. I didn't understand it. I just knew just didn't feel like doing nothing. I didn't want to go in the shower. I didn't want to go out the house. I had at the time, business was doing well, and I got to fight to go outside, right? And then people see me, and I'm like bright and bubbly, and they don't understand. They don't have no idea what I'm dealing with. So this might have been like 2019. I become aware of this. I was like, geez, bro, this is not right. So I start figuring it out, and I figure out it's seasonal depression. Okay, bro, next year I'm not going through this ever again. I don't know how. I'm not going through this. But my kid's in school, so I'm not gonna leave for the winter and go somewhere tropical. That's the easiest solution. So what did I do? I ended up creating a group because I love sharing what I know. I love seeing other people succeed. I love helping people, dope people, not suckers. Sucker don't come to me. We're not gonna vibe. We oil and water. Right. Telling you right now. Oil and water just. So like, I end up creating Marketing and Cupcakes, my group, where I teach marketing. If you realize, I go really, really, really hard for Marketing and Cupcakes from like November all the way to like March. Throughout the year, we do everything, but I go harder then because that's my Caribbean vacation. Me talking to people about business. Oh, yo, Angel. Oh, no, I love you. This you, as you do. Because now, I go into like a different space. The energy level's high. I'm like, oh, bro, the endorphins, yo, and you feel that, and you go, oh, yeah, okay, cool. Then it passes on to you, and then you look up, and the next thing you know, you created a 6-figure business on that energy. So, I do that consistently throughout that time, and that's for me to feed my mental health. So I had I have a business consultant that I'm working with now, and he said, Myke, you could be making so much more money with this Marketing and Cupcakes thing. That magazine that you produce is high quality. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. These courses, oh my God. I mean, this is top notch. This is stuff that people are paying $10,000, $20,000 to have access to, and you're giving it away for $100 a month. The $15 of the magazine, Myke, it's not a $15 magazine. I know, but that's my energy that I got to put out for my mental health.
Right.
So I'm doing that to give back. I'm doing that. That's my vacation. So that's as an entrepreneur, as a business person, I'm telling you, it starts with self-awareness. Because if I wasn't aware, like, bro, this ain't even you. You don't sit here all day not wanting to move, bro. You don't, and it's just like this heavy, weighted feeling. It's heavy and it's weighted, and you feel like you're like this, like you're being squashed down. You can't move. It's just weird, and it's dark, and you got these weird thoughts in your head, and you go, what the heck? Stop thinking that way. And this is like, life is good. So that's why I always feel bad for people who, quote unquote, life is a struggle in dealing with that. So that's why I'm saying, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, as everybody, be aware of your mental health. And I'm at the first time in my life, I got a therapist just to talk. See, because in our culture, therapists, you soft. What you need a therapist for? You don't tell nobody your business. Nah,
crazy.
I need a therapist because when I'm having these thoughts, here's what I'm thinking. I just don't make sense, but here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm feeling. I don't want to say that to my girl. I don't want to say that to my kids because I don't want them to get scared and get nervous. I don't want my anxiety going to them. I want to talk to that professional and go, no, Myke, that's perfectly fine. You have some things in there that we got to clear up. So what about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about this? And he's doing his clinical thing, and I'm just thinking we're just talking, but at the end, I'm like, I feel relieved. And I'm like, thank you. That's just great. When can we talk again? That's all therapy is.
Yep.
You're talking to a professional that can help. Like if you think like in that seasonal depression, in that whatever's going on there, just think of like you got thoughts flowing through your head naturally, right? Just when you just think of like those thoughts are like tied up in knots. It's a knot, a whole bunch of knots, 10, 15 knots in your head. So like, you're like, oh my God. And the therapist is like, oh, what about this? Okay, cool, good. Not unclear. What about this? Not unclear. So now you got these knots uncleared. You could go back to thinking in the sound mind. I'm telling you, business people, I'm telling you, entrepreneurs, I'm telling you, I'm looking right in the camera. I'm telling you, understand your mental health. Understand your self-awareness. Seek out professional help. Go talk to a therapist. Black, brown people, talk to a therapist. White, Asian people, talk to a therapist. I don't care where you are in the world, what you believe, what you think. Get those knots uncleared. You can't do it yourself. Trying to do it yourself just develops more knots.
Mm-hmm.
And you just, it's you know, just something to be aware of. Because now, like, I'm an advocate now for physical health, eating healthy. Now, I'm a fat boy. I'm a closet fat boy. I always tell you this all the time. I used to be like 300 pounds. So, like, I love to eat. So don't follow me directly for fitness advice because you're going to see me eating tacos and burgers and pizza, but I don't do it obsessively anymore.
Right.
But so beware of your physical health and beware of your mental health too. Like it just makes so much of a difference as a business person, as a business professional, as an entrepreneur, as a person. It allows you to think clear. See, that's the cheat code. You talked about how I was able to pivot, right? Reason I was able to pivot is because I have clarity. Without clarity, you can't think right in business. You may make unsound decisions because you got a lot of other stuff going on. And I'm by no means perfect, man. By no means perfect. There's a lot of things I get wrong, but where I'm at right now in my life, when I get something wrong, I'm at the point where I can realize, Mike, that was wrong. You got to make a change.
Yeah, and then after that, it's like, okay, now what?
And then the next thing, and the next thing. But being at the point where you realize that was wrong, you gotta. That in itself is a whole another level of humility to realizing that, admitting that you're wrong, and then seeking help to change things. That's a strength. It may seem like a weakness, but that's a big strength.
Yeah, and I think that me and Tyler be talking about all the time about how being vulnerable is where it's gonna get you places, right? It's like we can't do it ourselves, like you mentioned, and it's just like, okay, well, if I don't know what to do, who does know? And it's just asking vulnerably, like, hey, this is what I got going on.
To dope people, though.
To dope people, right? Exactly.
Yes,
and I love
100%.
that you say that. Because a lot of times you could ask advice to the wrong people,
Suckers,
and that's what makes you think that, I asked them and I don't know what to do.
Exactly.
And then you don't even know what to do anymore because you was already in shambles.
Right.
Now you're going to someone that is making you more into shambles, and now you're confused. So it's like, you gotta ask the right people.
And the thing about that, man, when you talk to dope people, they ain't gonna like sugarcoat nothing. They ain't gonna like, oh, it's okay, Tyler, you're gonna be great. Nah, so they gonna tell you about yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
But so here's the difference between hate and constructive criticism. So suckers hate. Dope people give constructive criticism. So here it looks like this. I'll give you a silly example, right? So I'm gonna come as a sucker first. I'm gonna talk about your beard. You got to talk about my beard at my event, so I'm gonna talk about your beard.
All right, go ahead.
So as a sucker, I'm like, yo, your beard is trash, bro. It's trash. It's like, how would you shave that, right? Okay, that's weird, right? As a dope person, hey man, I love your beard, but if you kept that thing trimmed, man, people will take you more serious. You should, at least once every other week, you should go to the barber and trim that, keep it fresh, bro. I said the same thing, one as a sucker, one as a dope person.
Yep.
Either way, you don't want to hear it, but the dope person, you're like, makes sense. Okay, cool. That's practical advice. Every other week, go to the barber, keep it trimmed. People will take me more serious. Makes sense because I'm well-groomed. Versus, now, the sucker got you, your beard's trash. Go save that. Like, man, you drained me, bro. That's what I'm saying. The experience. Dope people, they might tell you about yourself, but you're not going to feel drained. You're going to feel empowered. Suckers, you're going to feel drained. And if you understand that, then you'll see it. Because like I said, the advice is gonna be practical. You don't have to listen to either of them. But the dope person is guiding you in a way where, that makes sense. That's like after we finish talking, we talk. Sometimes, man, we talk business. I rip your business model to shreds. But then I go boom, 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 and you're like, oh, yo, man, oh, that makes sense. And that's dope people, bro. Deliver others positive energy and experiences.
Yes,
that's the cheat code.
Michael, I love how you're bringing the
No, go ahead.
Okay, so all right, I love how Michael was bringing that up because we're emphasizing on self-awareness, and with self-awareness, and even like in terms of leadership, like as a business person, an entrepreneur, we need all these things, especially keeping our mental health stabilized, and however that may be, even with a therapist, when it comes to separating ourselves from suckers, at least in this case, a lot of times people may not want to admit that they have the self-awareness to make the right decision, and that's where discipline comes in. And I just like how like we're touching base on that, because I think we all have self-awareness. It's just that we don't want to do the hard stuff. Like we just want to relax, stay comfortable, but when it comes to those moments where, like, even a year ago, I realized I didn't like the circle that I was around because I kept living the same style of life for years, for multiple years. So then once I decided to change that, it was hard making those decisions and having the conversations. But then once I cleared all that up, I started getting more clarity. I made more room for new people. I made room for new experiences. And now my life is completely different, where just in the last 2 years, removing the people that I knew from middle school and high school, now here I am. I have a podcast, got my associate's degree. I'm in Texas now. Like, all these things have changed, and it's only been 2 years now since I've made that decision to just reroute my circle.
Yeah, and it doesn't, and I'm glad you said what you said. It doesn't mean you don't love the people that you used to hang with, or now you think you're better than them. It's just that you through your self-awareness realize you want to try something different. Like, and that's called growth. And not everyone's gonna grow with you. Like, just think about it. The people you hung out with in kindergarten wasn't the same as the people you hung out in first grade. The people you hung out in middle school wasn't the same as you hung out with in high school. The same people you hang out in college won't be the same people you hang out when you become a dad. Everything changes. It's not that you don't love these people, and not that everyone that you hung with before was a sucker. It's just that you realize that you want a different result. So, like they always say, if you want a different result, you got to do something different. If I want to play dominoes, I can't keep playing cards. I got to play dominoes, right? And if I don't know how to play dominoes, I got to go pick them up and figure out the game. So give me some time to master that. Now I'm playing not that I don't like cards anymore. I just want to play dominoes now. I want to try something different. That's all it is. So, and that's the thing too. Even with that, when you change, and then the suckers start exposing themselves. Oh, he think he better than me. No, bro, I still love it. You my guy. I don't think I'm better than you. I just want to do something different. I'm happy that you doing your thing over there. I'm not. And then the dope people be like, yo, my man, now he got his associates. He's down in Texas. He's doing his thing. I'm so proud of that dude. He always wanted to do. He said he's going to do that. Look at him doing it. It's the same people in the circle. That's the thing, bro. The dope sucker thing is like, it's an operating system inside someone's head. I don't control who's dope, and I don't control who's a sucker. That's their operating system.
Yep.
That's based on what they do. The guy ain't got nothing to do it. Like, we're all individuals on this planet, man. No two people are truly intertwined. We all, like, my son sees the world different from me. My other son sees the world different from me. My girl sees the world different from me. And we live together and share ideas. So you think someone who's my friend from high school no, I'm not hating you. I'm happy for you. So if my friend from high school always wanted a car wash, and this dude's got a car wash, like, yo, Junior got the car, bro. He been talking about that since like 7th grade. Right. Like, I'm happy for him because I know that's his dream. So I think, like, my true friends will be happy for, yo, he always talk about going to college. He got his associate. Now, it ain't going to be, oh, he think he better than me now because no. I'm telling you, bro, dope people deliver others positive energy and experiences. And here's my rule with that. Because this is not a name-calling thing. This is an awareness thing. So if I realize someone's draining me, what I got to do? I got to put them in the sucker bucket. Push that to the side. When I push it to the side, I created a little bridge. Now it's up to them to climb out that bucket, change their way of being, because everyone could change, climb down that, walk across that bridge, and then climb up in the dope bucket. Now that journey that they take, because in that Sucka bucket is slime. So that's why when you talk to someone that's negative, you just feel it. It's like a slime that comes on you. It's icky.
Yeah.
So when they climbing out that bucket, climbing down, walking across that bridge, the sun's beaming on them. That's drying up that slime. So by the time as they come to the dope bucket, it ain't even slimy in there. We all swimming around freely complimenting people in the dope bucket. And the Sucka bucket is oily and nasty.
Right. Yeah, and I love how the conversation is going, because I think there's so many things to talk about as far as like business, mindset, which is all important. They all simultaneously work together.
All day.
Me and Tyler like doing these things with having 4 questions called Rally for Cry, where we ask you 4 questions.
Let's do it.
You answer to 1 word minimum to a maximum sentence. If it goes over, that's okay. So my first question would be, what is the best advice you ever received?
Best advice I received was, you want business advice or just life advice?
Either or, whatever comes to you first.
Okay, best business advice I received was from Myke Connolly. He's the guy that started Yankee Candle. And let me answer it short. It was 1 + 1 = 2. Right? So he basically told me business is common sense. And understanding that, then I was able to simplify everything. So every business, and it really, he helped me realize I had business figured out at 9 years old when he told me that. So that was it. So product and the service. And I ended up, after he said 1 + 1 = 2, I added what that means to me. So to me, that means having a product or service. That's one. The other one is people that want to need that product or service. Now the plus sign that connects the two, one way is sales, one way is marketing. So sales and marketing connects your product or service to people that want to need that product or service. The equal sign is the financial transaction that happens, the trade. They give you the money one way, you give them the product the other way. And then the 2 is because you both gain. You gain money, and they gain that product or service that solve that problem they're seeking. So the best business advice I ever got was from Myke Connolly. He said 1 + 1 = 2. If 1 and 1's 11, something's wrong. Get out of there.
I love that perspective, breaking that down like that.
That's it.
Yeah, especially every sign in that had a position or direction, like the equal sign and the plus sign. I'm like, interesting.
Yeah. So number 2 would be, what is the worst advice you ever received?
I think so. The worst advice I ever received was don't smile. Be screw face, be gangster. Like our culture, we have that, right? Like we don't supposed to smile. Like think about it. Like and this is a long sentence. This is a run-on sentence. You know me. So think about it. Like where in the world walk into a room like this makes sense?
Not in my world, I would say.
Huh? This is what we do, right? We walk by another black or brown person, white person, Asian person, whatever, and by default we like mean mugging. Who wants to do business with this?
I wouldn't.
Why? We're taught to be tough.
Right.
Don't. I tell Mike, bro, don't be tough. And I don't mean you soft. Don't be tough. So like now, flip that. If I walk into a room and I'm like, hey, how's it going, Angel? What's up, Tyler? How you doing, man? Like right away, you're like, oh, that's my guy. If I walk into that same room, I'm looking at you like this. I wish you guys could see his body language right now. Immediately shifted. When I was smiling, he was like, when I mean mug, he went right into protective mode. So that's the worst advice. I don't even know where I picked it up, but just like being screw facing, like not smiling and mean mugging. Like forget that. That's for the birds. That's bad. That's bad math. That's bad for money. Because if you walk into a networking environment, and I know you could create, I can't wait till the game comes, and you could use this part to promote the game too. Yeah. You walk into a networking environment, you already mean mugging, and you don't know what to say. Like no one's gonna want your business card. No one's gonna want to do business with you. And if you've been training yourself your entire life to do that, now you got our restless bitch face. So you don't even know you're doing it. You done switch like Tyler done switch, right? He done moved to a whole new area. You're doing everything different, but he don't realize he already trained his brain to not smile at people. And he's like, yeah, these people out in Texas don't really mess with me because he ain't smiling. That's what I'm saying. Retrain that. Be dope. deliver positive energy and experiences.
There you go.
Right? And then now go into the networking event. That's not mean you sucking up to everybody kissing, being fake. No, you're just making a conscious decision to smile, to be presentable, to be approachable. Be approachable. Let's just say Tyler, because I know they do a lot of like curb painting out there. They put their addresses on the curb out there. So Tyler's out there now. He started this curb painting business. We all networking together. He walks into the room. We both homeowners. We both need our curbs painted. He walk in and be like, he's mean mugging you. He's mean mugging me. He ain't know it. He's like, yo, here's my business card. Hey, you need your curb painted. Come call me. What? I'm dying. That business card didn't even make it into my pocket. It's going in the trash. So it's just one of those things you got to just think about. So that's what I would say with that, man. Just ooze positivity. No mean mugging. Just do your thing and be positive.
Yeah, I could definitely like agree with that, because I remember, at least even in middle school, like I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was social media that said it, but they said mean mugging was like the cool thing to do. Like if you want people to come to you and look like the cool guy and stuff like that, look like you got a mean face, or maybe even look like you're laid back and like don't show no emotion. And then like, but the thing is, I've always loved to laugh and smile, so like that was just something that could never work with me. So it was a difficult with conflict. Like there was a conflict naturally there, like trying to do a mean face every time I see people, but then also like I laugh and smile and get this big expression on my face every time I'm around people. So that was always confusing. So I like how you put that, because I mean, I can't do that now for sure.
Like I said, man, it don't mean that you fake. It's just you're just aware that you want to be pleasant. I mean, and if I promise you, to this day, if you catch me when I'm thinking, I'm like the scariest looking person ever, because I'm like so in deep thought, like my face is dropped in there. I'm like, but I'm not mad. I'm just thinking. So but I think for me that comes with self-awareness, and then even so, being in business, a guy with dreads, a guy that wear hoodies. Listen, I don't ever try to like please people, but I'm aware of my presence, because like if people know me, they know, oh, that's Myke. But if they don't know me, they're like, whoa, what's up with this guy? But the second, and this is another thing too, be able to deliver the goods. The second I open my mouth, though, the second I start talking about business, marketing, mindset, advertising, whatever any of my topics, they forget what I look like immediately. They go, oh, this guy got what he can solve my problems. Let me give him some money to solve these problems with.
Right. So that goes for our third question. If you was to get good news, who's that first person you go to?
So the wire just hit. we got that huge contract. So two quick answers: my family, my immediate family, and then my marketing and cupcakes members.
Okay, I love it. And so
Both
for the
your
last
families.
question,
both families.
yes, there you go.
Yep.
So last question would be, if hypothetically speaking, if people were at your funeral, what is one thing you hope they say about you?
You made a difference.
Mm.
You made a difference. And I picture this from time to time, and I think during that moment, that's when people would see the impact that I made, because I helped so many people consistently over the years, like to see them gather around and then sharing those. Myke did this for me, because I don't ever talk about what I do for people. There's no need to do that. So like that's what that would be.
I love that. Everybody, Mychal Connolly. Yes.
Standing ovation.
Yes. We appreciate you guys. We hope that you guys got something from this. Mychal Connolly said a whole bunch of things that's so important about being an entrepreneur, mindset, physical health. Health is wealth. And he definitely said it here. There's so many more things I'd love to talk about. But if anything, we'll have it for another episode if that time comes. Make sure you guys follow us. You know, we're gonna plan for that. We're gonna plan for that, because I'm learning so much here. So I'm excited here. So I hope you guys really got something from us. Make sure that you guys leave a... And it also lets us know that we're doing something important. And yeah, we're just going to keep growing from here. So
like, follow, subscribe.
Yes, he said it. So appreciate you guys. Until next time, y'all be easy, one step at a
time and one day at a time. Yes. Be breezy, guys.
Yes. Peace.
Peace.